Hello everybody, Matt here, Run the Planet, and today we'll be talking about cramp for runners and how I've managed to deal with my cramp and overcome cramp, or potentially overcome cramp in my kind of latest marathon and the journey I've had with it over the last couple of years. So I'm going to go through the products that I've been using, the methods I've been using in my training, and maybe this is something for you, maybe it's not something for you, but I think it's still a journey for me. Just because I've overcome it in one race, I'm not guaranteed that it's going to happen in the next one, and it is a bit of a journey, but things are looking positive, so let's go in, let's start talking about it. So I've been struggling with cramp in the marathons probably now for about a couple of years. Basically any time since I've managed to start going fast and start racing for time in the marathons. I've just ran the Valencia marathon a couple of weeks ago. I've had a couple of weeks off, which has been great. No running, no anything, but I'm back to running now, and I'm starting to train for the next marathon, which is Manchester. Unfortunately, cramp for runners or any endurance athletes is a bit of a vague topic. There's not a lot of information. There's definitely not any guaranteed cures out there, but there's obviously a lot of ideas, a lot of things that people put together for it, and there is some kind of testing out there. So what I've managed to read online over the months and years, and stuff I watched on YouTube and seeing how other athletes and other people come to terms with it and deal with it, is that there's a few things that it could be. So it could be that you're low on salt tablets. So in my runs, I've been working more and more at taking a lot more salt in my runs, or sodium tablets and things like that. That's where I was early on. So maybe these are the 1500, 750 milligram of sodium in there. These are 250. So typically in a race I might take 6 of those now, when I only used to take 3. Or if it's these tablets are a bit higher, so maybe 2 or 3 of those in a race. And that's something that I've tried, just to keep on top of the salt levels. I've done a salt test I've done a sweat test. In my sweat test, I sweat about 1,000 milligrams per hour of salt, which is kind of medium to high level. So obviously I need to make sure I'm keeping on top of my salts in the race. One of the other things is strength. So I've been doing more strength training in the last training block in the run up to Valencia. Working more on the hamstrings and the glutes. I was doing a little bit of hamstrings anyway, but I really managed to do a fair bit more weight training with the hamstrings, and also introduced a lot more training with the glutes. So that's been potentially one of the successes of it. One of the things I've also understood is that your running form, obviously that's a constant thing I've been improving for years. It's just trying to get your running form. So if you're energizing your glutes, if you're activating your glutes in the marathon, there's less strain on the hamstrings and the calves, and that's kind of the area where I get the cramp at the end of a marathon. One of the other things is to make sure that you've got enough energy in the run. So when I did my VO2 max test, we do my lab test, running efficiency test back in March, I think it was, earlier on this year, so about 9 months ago. One of the things I was told was the maximum amount of stored energy I could have in my body for the marathon. That's about how much energy my body requires to do the running task at the kind of the paces that I want to run at. So it was a little bit behind sub 3 hour marathon pace, and up to ahead of sub 3 hour marathon pace. So that kind of pace that I want to run at, I'm not very efficient at all, even though I thought my form was quite good. So it's about, and then you in the race you take on gels as well, so you probably get about 100 calories from your gels as well. So maybe if you're taking 6 gels, 600 calories. So there's only about just over 2,000 or so calories that my body could store for a race. And then maybe taking on about 6 gels, so you're looking at about 2,600. I was told my calories, I need about 1,200 calories per hour for my running. So I'm still there at a deficit of about 600 calories. So one of the things I made sure I do is just kind of overload on food, building up into the race as well. So I managed to eat probably more on the Saturday, the day before, stuff I practiced in training as well, then a few days before as well, but mainly the Saturday before leading into the marathon, so I made sure I had more than enough calories. So I was quite happy with that. And then the other thing I was doing for the 4 months leading up to the race was taking magnesium supplements. So magnesium is a supplement that you need to kind of relax your muscles. So sodium and that work together to kind of relax your muscles. I was taking some other supplements as well, which are some kind of like electrolyte supplements that have like quite high level potassium in, but it's not something I'm going to carry forward because potassium is, although it can help relax the muscles, it also regulates magnesium in your body, so it will stop you from getting in. The reason why I was taking this one was Orotate is the one that is used by athletes, runners, endurance athletes more than other types. It's also better at breaking through the fat barrier and getting into your muscles and into your bones. And the reason why it kind of like magnesium needs to be in high levels in your bones to kind of deal with cramp rather than in the bloodstream. So and what I've understood about it is it can take 4 to 6 months for you to actually see a difference, a change of levels in your magnesium content in your bones. How they measure that, I don't know, and obviously I definitely haven't done that because I don't want any samples of my bones taken or anything extreme like that. But that's, you know, they're the things that I've been doing to kind of dial out the cramp. So when I was in Valencia, didn't go to plan, didn't run the 310 or close to the 310 that I was wanting to go for, but and it was a bit disappointing. It was a bit of a disappointment for all the effort that we put into it over the past 4 months, but that's how it goes, and that's how it goes more often than not, I think. But nevertheless, I'm happy to get the mental intel, the fact that I've run the course. If I go back there again, I know what to expect. It's, you know, it's very fast, very flat. There isn't many challenges on the course. You know, there isn't hills and things like that. The conditions were perfect. I think on the day over 5,000 people ran a sub 3 hour marathon, which is phenomenal. I don't think that's been done in any race before. So yeah, back to the cramp. So Precision Hydration do these kind of things. They actually say on the back of it that it can kind of help with stopping cramp, but I'm not convinced. I kind of use it sometimes before going on a run, usually trying to use them on the night time to kind of give myself a bit more a kind of a stimulus, just, you know, stop myself from struggling on the run when it's a bit harder for me to run at night time. But I'm not convinced that they do anything for me for cramp. In my race in Manchester, I use these things. Got these from Japan. They're called Maytan. I've done a lot of testing with them, but didn't work in the race. What did work in the race for me, every time I've got cramp, I use this Cramp Fix product now. As soon as cramp comes on, you take it, and they say within 30 seconds to 2 minutes, it will stop your cramp, and it does. And well, for me, it does. It works for me. So I actually used them in Manchester, although I still struggle with the cramp at the end because I ran out. I could have done with one more. The biggest success in Valencia, as I said in my Valencia video at the end of it, was I didn't get cramp. So although I'm not going to dwell on it too much, but for some reason there was something wrong with me on the day. Health wise, I wasn't right, and I didn't really know about it until I got to 10 kilometers into the race, but I was feeling dizzy. There's something wrong with me, but it is what it is. And 3 hours 35, it's not the end of the world. It's still got, you know, a reasonably good time. It just wasn't 3:10 or 3:15. Was kind of where I was hunting for. But I didn't get cramp, which is the big thing. So I managed to, you know, I was still putting a lot of effort in through the race. I was running up to about kilometre 26, where the pace was only right from the start to the finish. My pace was somewhere like 4:45 to even down to 4:35, 4:30, and then back up to kind of like 5 minutes per kilometre, and no issues, never felt anything. I don't really feel cramp until at least 32, 33 kilometres. Manchester, when I set my PR earlier on in the year, didn't really get it till kilometre 39, 37 was it, 37, 38, 39, around about that kind of range. So I'm really quite happy that, you know, I had one big success in that. So I will be going on. It's hard to say, unfortunately, whether that worked, whether it was the food, whether it was the endurance nutrition. Actually, I forgot to mention that I did have managed to get a couple of bottles of Molten 160 during the race, one at 25, one at 30k, from my wife who was supporting us on the day. So thank you very much to my wife for that. That was a big help. But yeah, I think a combination of everything, and the combination I'm gradually getting fitter. I do think I was fitter coming out of this training block and into the race than I was at Manchester earlier on in the year, where I set my PR. So the things that I looked at, and things, if you've got a problem with cramp, and that's the reason why you're watching this video, and you might be subscribed to the channel, and you just follow my journey, and I also thank you very much for that. But you might be here just for the cramp topic. So it's magnesium supplements is one of the things that I've used. It's strength training to improve your muscular strength and your neurological performance. It's fueling for the run, and making sure I've got enough fuel, not just on the day leading up to it. It's a salt tablet, the race day nutrition that's important. It's the long runs, putting more effort and more higher paces into your long runs in training regularly, consistently. And of course, it's also, if all else fails, a product like that can bust you out of the cramp if it happens in the race, cramp fix. So I hope that's been useful for you. That's my journey with cramp. It's not over. Continue to try that. I've got other stuff that I might be experimenting through in the next training block, although, you know, I'm kind of quite sure that if I just keep doing more of the same, we should get through this and be able to string together marathons where we don't have cramp. So that's what we're really looking forward to. So thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And we're starting to train for Manchester now, so if you'd like to follow the journey for that, please do, and we'll see you in Manchester in April.